Welcome to Funeral Directing 101. In the state of Pennsylvania, funeral directors are licensed and governed by the State Board of Funeral Directors and the FTC. They are required to have continuing education and mandated child abuse and safety trainings. But what do we actually do? We are responsible for the removal and transferring of the deceased from the place of death to the funeral home, professional care of the deceased, which may include sanitary washing, embalming preparation, restorative art, dressing, hairdressing, casketing, and cosmetology. We also engage in detailed consultation with family members to gather necessary information and to discuss specific arrangements for the funeral service. We compile information and create an obituary to place in the newspapers for families. And we make arrangements with a family's choice of clergyperson, church, music, cemetery, crematory, or other place of disposition. What makes a good funeral director? Someone who is service-minded, gives back to the community, offers product knowledge, is a good listener, collaborates with others, understands various religious rites, provides resources, and is dedicated to helping families by making suggestions and providing resources. Directors work hard to support an environment in their funeral homes that must abide by some laws you may not be aware of. For example, food would not be served to the public in any part of a funeral establishment. Each funeral home must have at least one room for the purpose of embalming and caring for human remains. A funeral director must promptly prepare and bury bodies within 10 days. Over the last several years, there have been many changes that have taken place in society. People today would rather not deal with the funeral service or viewing because it is hard on them and their family. We must re-educate people in the value of the funeral and visitation to celebrate a life well lived. This is the first step of the healing process. A funeral is an event, a pause in our normal routines where family and friends gather to mourn and remember a loved one. Families have a hard time making decisions, especially with cremation. Some of the decisions they have to make include what to do with the cremated remains, whether they inter in the cemetery, scatter the cremated remains, or keep them on the mantle. Clergy can help funeral directors by setting up policies for church funerals and funeral homes, outlining clergy, organist, sexton, reception area costs, and offering availability for unchurched families. Simple words that mean so much. Live simply, love generously, care deeply, speak kindly.